All right, we're rolling.
Okay.
And
So today,
from the Fernando and Freddie Show.
Why isn't my name first?
Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of the Fernando and Freddie Show. Reddit on Reddit.
Reddit.
I'm
I read
Fernando.
it. I'm
He's
Freddie.
gonna read it. All right.
Okay, another AITA
Am I the a-hole?
for wanting to send my teen daughter to a weight loss camp.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
This
Let's
one
do
is
this.
kind of heavy, but it's a good one. Okay. My daughter is 15. She's 5'6", and the last time we weighed herself at the doctor's office, she was at 238 pounds. She is morbidly obese. She was always a chubby kid who loved food and hated activities no matter how much her dad and I tried to get her to dance, do sports, go on walks with our dog, anything. She would refuse. I regret not taking her to a nutritionist early, but I thought that she would go into puberty and her weight would eventually be okay. Unfortunately, when she was 11, her dad and I decided to get a divorce. No special reason, it just wasn't working. We co parent well, we're friendly, we go on trips without our daughter, but the divorce impacted her negatively at first. She started gaining weight a lot around the time. So we decided to take her to a nutritionist who recommended therapy for her. She initially lost about 15 pounds and she was already very dependent on food. Now she's a food addict. Her emotional eating was something she used to until the cope with the divorce until she adjusted. But now it's all about compensating for not having friends, compensating for not being pretty, compensating for not being liked by boys, etc. She still goes to therapy regularly. She doesn't suffer from depression or any health condition that might cause her weight gain. She's simply addicted to food, and at her vulnerable age, mentioning her weight to her makes her very upset and uncomfortable. Her dad and I both know this, and it's been causing arguments between us. I'm a very active, fit person, and I try to lead by example. No junk food allowed in the house. I cook as much as I can, or I get healthy meals delivered, and this makes me the bad guy. She's into the whole body acceptance movement, and she sold the story to her dad, who now allows her to raid his pantry and they eat junk food together, just so he wouldn't upset her because she's daddy's little girl. He's happy that he gets to be the good guy and I'm the villain who doesn't want her daughter to settle because I want her to live past 35. I encourage her to love herself. I want her to embrace how amazing she is, but I don't want her to accept her condition as something normal that can't be changed. I'm tired seeing how miserable she is because of her weight, and I'm tired of thinking about all the diseases that could kill her. I found a great weight management treatment facility. Well, edited instead of camp because it's very different from the infamous fat camps for teens that's 6 hours away. I've done my research, but her dad doesn't want me to sign her for it to go there from January to July. We
Oh
can
wow.
visit her and she can come home once a month. She can go to the school there, make friends, and get healthy. He says that I'm being a selfish a hole and that our daughter doesn't want to go. She once told me that she will think about it, but I think that her dad is loving his role as being the superhero because they've bonded in the past few months and will encourage her not to go. Am I the a
How
hole?
how old is she?
15.
Ay, yeah, 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 yeah. So that's hard. That's so rough. Because I'm just gonna use myself as an example. So me, like I was a little chunky kid, and like my mom would always get on me. My dad would always get on me. Like my dad would always say no soda. My mom would be the one that would like give me the stuff or whatever I wanted to eat.
And you were saying
Um,
chicken strips.
my uncle, a
Chicken.
nutritionist, he was always like, "Oh, it's okay. He's just gonna burn it off. He's gonna burn it off. He'll go to the playground, whatever." I grew up like 13, 14 years old, and I wasn't like comfortable with my body. Like, I mean, I wasn't like that fat kid, but I mean, I was a little chunky. And I was aware of it and I was conscious about it and I wanted to make a change eventually. Um, Fast forward to now, I mean, I've been in the gym since I was 16 years old, okay? So I've kind of been in life, like my whole like high school and graduated high school until now, like been able to pretty much eat what I want because I would work out so much. Like me, I'll work out 5 days a week, and people are always saying like, "Oh my gosh, how do you eat so much? And are you in such good shape?" Or, "Oh my gosh, you're always eating so bad. Why? How are you in such good shape?" But on the controversy to that, like if I actually ate good and did my workout, I would be in amazing shape. Now, fast forward to now, being, we're in the whole pandemic of coronavirus, gyms are closed. I don't work out. Like, I mean, yeah, I'm trying to, do stairs, and for the past couple of days I've done, 20 flights of stairs, up and then back down. Um, I've tried to do a little bit of walking. I'm trying to get back into running, but eating what I normally eat, being home, in quarantine, I eat a lot of snacks. I'm gaining weight. Like I got this little belly going on over here where that used to have like a 4 pack. No, you can't even see the outline of that ab anymore. So I get it. Like I get when you don't do that working out, you don't do that exercise, you don't want to do it. Like,
You do hold on. You do realize you said that ab, meaning it was just one ab.
did I say fat ab? I think I you can't see where
No,
that
you
abs
said four
used to be.
pack, and then you said you can't see that ab.
I was on a good trend, an upward trend, okay? But being home and eating all of this, I don't want to work out. Like I have no desire to work out. Like,
What?
you know, I just have zero desire to do it. Like I
Fernando,
don't
just do it.
I know, just do it. Um and being home, like when you're watching TV or whatever, you just want to snack. You just want to keep eating. So I get where this girl is coming from. I do. I 150% get where this girl is coming from.
Well, this
And
is a girl. This is her mom that's typing this. Oh, you're saying from her
no,
perspective? Yeah,
from her perspective,
yeah.
and I get like, you want to go pour a bag of M&Ms, you don't have to worry about portion control. If they're there, you want to be able to eat them. Like, believe me, I know where this girl is at. I know in her head where she is, and if she
Can I
doesn't
tell you?
care, what's that?
Okay, go ahead. No, no,
And
no.
if she doesn't
I was
care
gonna.
where she's going with it, like they said that she accepted that, what is that body movement? Like my cousin's the same way.
Yeah,
Like she's not fat in any way, shape, or form, but she like always, well, not always, but I mean, she would kind of pick on me and be like, "Oh, well, why do you care what other people think about you? And if you didn't, then why do you do this and that?" I'm like, "I'm doing it for me."
true
Like,
story.
yeah. So if this girl in all these lines, she enjoys eating, she doesn't want to do portion control, she doesn't want to diet, and she's 15 years old, she's on the couch, no activity. I can just imagine, what her mom is going through and how her mom feels. So it's rough. And especially if dad doesn't even support it, in my head when I'm thinking, I'm like, all right, well, how are they going to do this? And the only thing that I can think of is, like the legal realm. They're going to have to go to court.
Oof. But oh, I don't know if she would lose. She probably would win because of her if she has any health conditions. Because it's actually pretty dangerous and really bad for the health to be morbidly obese. It's There's nothing wrong with being big. I mean, I was like you. I was the same way where I was always the chubby one. In my family, I'm considered the fat one.
The
And so
fat
I
one.
started working out. Yeah. And I started working out because you know what? I realized something. The more I worked out, the more I could eat. And as someone
Right.
who loves food, no, but like seriously, like I like instead of like, oh, I'll eat the bag of M&Ms, peanut butter ones, because I know that I can calculate how much it's going to take for me to work that off, and I will ride that bike, lift that weight, do everything I can to burn it off, to bring myself down to an acceptable calorie area, like that app I told you
Right.
about that I use to lose weight.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know, yeah. So I eat everything I want, and I weigh it, and then I know how many calories I've consumed, and then I know how much exercise I have to do to burn that off.
Do you want to know something kind
So
of funny? So yesterday, when you were
uh,
telling me about that app and we were texting, I was
yeah,
actually walking up the stairs while we were texting, and you were telling me about that app. I was doing my
yeah,
20 flights of stairs yesterday while we were doing
yeah.
that. So
Those stairs looked insane, though.
they
Um,
were.
but so, but I understand that perspective. But I mean, getting back to this girl, I mean, like how, like since I've always been big, I've always seen the health problems that it can cause people. So I've always been paranoid about like heart attacks and cholesterol levels. And I mean, since I was a kid, I was always asking the doctor, "Can you check my cholesterol? Can you check my cholesterol?" And usually they're like, "No, you're not old enough." And like you really have to insist. And so I've learned, you know, you should always insist on your own health. Don't let someone else. I mean, besides, I'm paying for it, so um, and they lose nothing. It's just a blood test.
Yeah.
So, and I did it, and this time it came back that it was high. That it was so high that they told me I risked a stroke, which kind of
Oh
scared me.
wow.
Yeah, and I'm not even morbidly obese, so I mean, I can imagine what that is. But I mean, it's funny because the way people here look at the way I eat, it's like I might as well be morbidly obese. Like, they don't use any type of spice, any type of seasoning. It's just like, you know what I mean? It's just like they're like water with lettuce is like, oh my god, this is so rich. And I'm just like, no, like I need like, I get my spices from the US. I'm like, give me that Mrs. Dash, send me the seasoning salt, send me the Lowry, send me the garlic salt, send me all of it. You know what I mean? Because I like to spice my food. So for them, I eat a very rich diet, but it's not like I'm eating like, like they swear that I'm eating at McDonald's every day, and like it's kind of hard like explaining to people that no, most Americans are not eating at McDonald's. There's so many great places to eat that we don't have to eat that type of junk food. I mean, you could really eat takeaway every day and still get fat. But as far as sending a child away for 6 months, January to July, or did she say June or July? But that's literally in the middle of the school year. So that means that girl has to go to school there. But the upside to that would be there would be other kids who've been through what she's been through, who have the same weight problems. But we don't know what really could. Well, I guess if she had any issues, she would have told her therapist, and they'd be working through that. But I mean, maybe it would be beneficial for her to go to that camp, because I mean, you could be with people who looked like you, who had the same struggle, who might even look at you and finally feel like, wow, you're beautiful. Like how, like that's the most amazing thing, is when you don't feel that way about yourself and you have other people who are like, no, you're gorgeous, and you're like, what? But everyone where I am is like, I'm ugly. So like
Yeah.
it actually could be beneficial for her to go to that camp, I think. I mean, obesity aside, I mean, she's never going to probably be that skinny girl that her mom wants her to be, because maybe that's just not her body type. Like there's some people who are naturally very thin, and there's some people like me who's always been big boned, you know?
On a side note, I big boned.
What?
I saw the most hilarious meme about that. Big boned, but I'll have to send it to you later.
Okay. But yeah, so I've always been that person who's been big, I can still remember the names that they
But
used to
you
call
know
me.
what? Like,
Nowadays, those
but
are the names
right
that people
now,
want.
but Freddie, you're not. You're not big. You're not overweight. Like when you said like high cholesterol and you're not obese, I want to make a comment. Like you are far from obese. Like you work out regularly. You take care of your
Yeah,
body. You eat for the most part healthy.
yeah, but when people buy me clothes, I swear to you, it's always XXXL, like three
Really?
times, and I'm like, always, always,
What
always,
size shirt are
always.
you wearing right now?
I don't know, probably large,
Okay.
medium or large.
And you're
Yeah.
obese, right?
Uh, I think
Freddie, I'm
technically that.
joking. No, you're not.
No, no, but for these people, because remember, I'm in France where all the French people want to be thin, 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 thin. It's disgusting how thin they want to be. Um, and that's always like the biggest thing. It's like, no, I can't. It's too fattening. I don't want to be fat. Like it's amazing. But I got to give it to them. They've got that willpower. But I don't know. I think food is an important part of life, and it's such an important part of my life. I don't understand how someone could just be like, you know, eat salad or something, like, and not put like, tons of chicken and cheese and, and dressing.
Yeah. I mean, I see everybody's side. I see kid's side, whatever, it's just
Yeah.
life, you know? And she grew up that way. She grew up liking food. She doesn't want to change it. Okay, I get it. I see
But
mom's
it's
side. What's that?
yeah, I was gonna say, but yeah, but she learned her eating habits from her parents. So there's no way that she magically just was like, yeah, I'm going to eat this type of food. You know what I mean? Like her parents were the one who
Yeah.
gave her access to this food even before they were divorced. This, I mean, obviously she didn't develop this problem before that, you know,
I mean, after that.
or she did. I'm sorry. Yeah, after that. I said before that. I was like,
Yeah. And then like I see like dad's side, and he's the a-hole here, I think. Like dad needs to do portion control. Him and mom need to be on the same plan. But going back to what I said about like legal issues or legal realm, she's gonna need to go, to family court. She's gonna have to present her evidence, and she's gonna need to get full custody of this kid because dad is just gonna bring this kid down a worse rabbit hole. And did they even say if the kid had any health conditions yet? Because when you're that heavy, like, and you're eating that much junk food and that much sugar, like, what about diabetes?
well, they don't always test for things like that though, because they
But they
usually do. They're
should.
like, they should, but sometimes they're like, you're young. Because remember, like I said, when I was young, I was like, oh, I want to be tested for this and tested for that, and they didn't want to test me for these things. They're like, oh no, you're young. So, but she
Yeah,
does
but
run the
with
risk of having like,
diabetes, though,
well, I just look at some of my friends who as kids were in that morbidly obese category, and they did have problem like thyroid problems, diabetes problems. There were some other health concerns like asthma and just high blood pressure, but I mean because you are so young they don't take it as seriously. But then if you've looked at the recent statistics, there are a lot more people having heart attacks in their 30s right now.
yeah,
Yeah. So I mean she does run that risk of, and food is so accessible now, especially with these delivery apps. I mean,
right.
you know,
Um, is this bad though? I really want to see a picture of what she looks like.
why?
I don't know. I have this visualized thing in my head, and I just really want to put a face to it.
Yeah. But
Was
it's I don't know. It's yeah, because actually, yeah, that could make sense. Oh no, she's only 5'6". I was like, what if she's really like stocky but like not fat?
Well, here's my thing too. So, Freddie, I'm about 6 foot. And when I was working out, and before this whole, coronavirus pandemic hit, my average weight was about 190, 195. Okay.
What?
Um, and right now I'm probably at like 210
Can I
minimum.
tell you? I was at that same. I think I was about that weight, and they told me I was severely overweight.
But
I don't know how
my
much I am
weight,
right now. Go ahead.
like, I mean, I don't know what my percentage is now, but I mean, like, my body fat average, like, I would test it about once a year. And I mean, it was good. It was, really good. And they were like, everyone's like, oh my gosh, you have such good body fat. Like, for me, I was like, but what about this belly that I want to get rid of? Because I've always had a small little tiny bit of layer of fat. Like I said, 4 pack. I never once six.
You
Never once.
always had. You're such a liar. You always had like a 6 pack. Remember when we were at the
No,
beach and I was just like, oh, it was got to be the fat friend, because mine always is like concentrated on my sides and my belly. Like
I have
everything
love
else,
handles right now, Freddie.
I've always had love handles, even when I work out like at my max. So I don't know. This is like, but this is those personal struggles of where you ever look at the old pictures of yourself and you're kind of like, I was skinny. What was I thinking?
Right?
So but I feel for this girl. I can only imagine how embarrassing it must feel.
But do
Um,
you think she's embarrassed, or do you think she's just embarrassed because her mom is throwing it at her, being like, "You need to go to fat camp"?
no, she's embarrassed because she's about body positivity, but she doesn't want no one to bring up weight, so she's not there yet.
Yeah,
So it's easier to say that you're all about body positivity and accepting the way you look because that's the way you look. But if you truly accept it, then people should be able to just talk to you. But I mean, it depends on how people are talking to you, because I can remember people can be really mean. People can shout things at you if you're walking on the street, or or throw things at you or make noises. So people can be really, really, really mean.
yeah.
So maybe that's an issue, because she said that she's not pretty. None of the boys like her. So and that's a hard thing growing up with that type of insecurity and
Well, what
feeling
would
that
you
way,
do
especially now.
if this was your kid? What would you do if you were the mom?
Um, well, food is not a reward. That's the one thing I learned about living here, though. Food is not a reward. There should be no celebratory dinners because you did an accomplishment or something like that. It should be more of like we go out because we want to enjoy a meal together, as opposed to making the food the reward. It shouldn't be the reward, because then that creates that mindset that's I need to reward myself with food. No, you need to nourish yourself with food. And that's a hard thing to learn. It's a hard habit to break. So that's where I would start. And we would just have to start walking. Like, me and my child would have to walk. It'd be like, we're getting little miniature ponies and we're going to walk our
Yeah.
miniature ponies. And like, legitimately, we are going to walk. Like, there'll be no phone, or you can be on your phone if you're walking, but there'll be no phone if you just sitting there.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I would do. I would really, I would have to force it if my child was morbidly obese and I truly was worried about their health and they did have health problems. Um,
Would
and
you
it
be
just it
sending him
gets
to would you be sending him to fat camp 6 hours away for 6 months?
I definitely would, only because of the fact that I said is that they could, if at first I would make sure that there were boys and girls. So if there is like a boy that's her size who could be like, you're pretty, like, no ifs, ands, or buts. Because if she was attracted to guys here who were like, ew, I don't like you because you're overweight, I'd be happy for her to go there. She could have friends who were her size. She could have friends she could exchange clothes with. She could, you know what I mean? She could have friends
Yeah.
who'd be like, no, you're gorgeous. Like, I love the way you do your makeup or whatever. You know what I mean? Just so she could feel that, like, wow, this is what people look at me and think of me, and I look like this now, instead of me wanting to look like that I'm not there, and I want to keep on aspiring to be that. So that would really, it would help boost her confidence and make her feel better about herself, so she could feel that true body positivity. And she could also learn what is the true acceptable weight for her, because maybe she's never going to be, I don't know, 100 pounds or whatever. I don't know what 5'6" is supposed to weigh, but um so I would do that just so that my child could feel, safe and secure in their own skin. But I also would want them to get healthy. I mean, just to get within out of the morbidly obese area. I mean, to be obese is not the same as being morbidly obese, because I'm thinking stress on the knees, stress on the joints, just like the heart and arteries, when you look at all that stuff as you get older, you really do pay for everything you did in your youth. Like, when I talk to my doctor friends, he's like, there's people who come in here who are in their 30s, and you would think they were 50 from all the way that they lived before that. So
Yeah.
it would be really important for me. Yeah. And you?
Yeah. I wouldn't send her to that camp. I mean, if there was one closer, maybe or a weekend, like you can go on like a Saturday. Um, I think that sending her to that camp would probably be extremely hard on her, and it probably would kill
But
her
why?
self esteem because once she's 6 hours away from everything that she knows, you're leaving her there for 6 months to live, to go to school, to work out. Like, you're pretty much abandoning your 15-year-old kid. Like,
No, you're in a school with
yeah,
other kids who have
it's
your
not,
same
but
issue.
it's
So
not
I mean,
like that here in the United States. United States, I mean, unless you're rich, your parents aren't sending you off to, a boarding school. Your parents are sending you off to a
yeah,
school
but
during the day. So it's just not common. And that's not something she grew up with for her first 15 years. So she's going to, one, be homesick. She's probably not going to succeed grade wise there. She's not
but
going to be
she's not
happy.
happy already. So what's the problem?
Right.
So
But why are
leave
you
her
going to
where
put her
she
in an,
is.
not necessarily leave her where she is, but you're going to have to come up with a solution. And that solution should have already started years ago. And I'm going to blame it on both of
Well,
the
she's
parents.
15. But
Right.
I think it's still better for her to go, because, like I said, there are going to be other girls her weight. There'll be boys her weight who are going to look at her and be like, like I said, they're going to be like, "Oh, you look like me. Like, we
Yeah.
can
No,
be
I
friends."
totally get where you're coming from with that.
It
But
won't
at
be
the
like,
same
"Oh, let me
time,
exclude her because she's big."
yeah. But at the same time, maybe the people here are excluding her because the only thing she wants to do is go home and sit on the couch. She's not being
No.
active. They said that she doesn't want any activity. She refuses to do anything that's, involving activity. So
Well, she
after
doesn't, but
school, she
let's say if she's going to this what did I forgot what the words that she used was, the weight management school. Um But let's say they go there and they have a beautiful facility and they have like parks and things that people can go to, or even going to the mall with her friends. Because I'm sure they have off days on the weekends where they can do things like that, where they can take them all to the mall and her friends can go walking around the mall and go shopping or whatever, or looking at things, you know? So it gives her a chance to be with people who look and feel just like her. So it can help. There is, like
Well,
group
do you think
therapy
that
does work.
but do you think that maybe she's just gonna be more body positive and say, "I'm not gonna change. I see all these
But
people that are here too."
that would be even better then, because then she would truly feel good in her own skin instead of being like, don't talk to me about weight because it makes me feel uncomfortable and insecure. So
Hmm.
it could help her with that. It could help her with her self-esteem. That would be the most important thing for me. Is like, okay, if my child is not going to change, then my child really does need to feel good about themselves.
Yeah.
And I really don't think the child would feel, I mean, 15 years old to go on an adventure like that, it'd be hard maybe like on the first couple of weeks maybe, but you adjust very quickly. I mean, all of my friends who went to boarding schools loved it. Like truly loved it. And it's like cuz you had this type of freedom and you live more like an adult than you do as a child. And so that just gives you some type of value, and to be with your friends all the time. I mean, what person didn't like that as a kid or even
I
as an
don't know.
adult?
All right, you guys. Well, tell us what you think in the comments. Would you send your kid to this good fat camp? What would you do?
Not
How would
fat
you
camp, weight
how would
management camp.
correction. Would you send your children to this weight management camp? Or what would you do? How would you go about this? Let us know what
Yeah.
you think down below. If you guys liked our video, we would love it if you give us a thumbs up. If you thought it was crap, it's totally fine. Let us know. Give it a thumbs down. Let us know how this video made you feel, you know? And
Yeah.
if you like our stuff, we would love it if you subscribe. Let's go ahead and push that red subscribe button. And
Because
we
we're
are
trying to get
trying
to
to I cannot do this. We're trying to get to 65 followers, you guys. So please, if you want to subscribe to us, we would love it if you did. So you guys, thanks for joining us. This has been another episode of Reddit on
on
Reddit.
Reddit.
From the Fernando and Freddy Show.
Why isn't my name first?